Hello again, salam and greetings, welcome. This is Mekki ELMOGRABI in my weekly video. This time I would like to discuss a very important topic. Let me start with the question that I asked my friend. He is a South Sudanese unionist. It means that he is calling for the unity of Sudan. I asked him whether if it is possible for the two Sudans to unite again, or it is still even forbidden completely to discuss this issue in South Sudan. My friend, no need to mention his name through my channel. Let him write about his thoughts by himself. He always has the logic to defend his ideas. Even when he was a hardliner for separation, he was able to present a strong logic to defend his ideas of separation. But this time he said to me, one day the separation was impossible and was only a dream. Unity has never been impossible because it was a reality, and we as South Sudanese, we have changed it. So if we change the impossible to possible, it is easier for us to bring the reality back. Well, I think my friend was smart enough to answer with simple logic and not with ideological or political arguments. So what should I do now? I repeated the second part of the question. Is it still forbidden in South Sudan to discuss the unification of the two Sudans? He also gave me a logical answer by saying if it is forbidden in South Sudan, it is not the only forbidden things. There are other forbidden questions in South Sudan and very normal in other countries. So it happens for political reasons, for something to be forbidden, and it cannot last for long if people want to change it. Okay, let us get out from this argument to the core of the topic of this video. If unity cannot be achieved easily, what can we do, what can be done for now for the two Sudans? Also, let us try to analyze why discussing the unification of the two Sudans is forbidden issue in South Sudan, and also something impossible to believe that there are people still serious about it in North Sudan, especially after in 2011 the independence of South Sudan with almost 99% votes. Most of people said that in North said that people, our brothers in South, they don't want unity. So why we want it? Yes. Anyway, it was the worst time for me to hear people just leaving something for such a frustration. But this is the reality now. For example, for myself, I have never called for separation. I was and I still a strong supporter for the unity of Sudan. But for now, South Sudan is a sovereign, independent country. And the people of South Sudan, they are proud of their country. And my focus is only on economic integration between the two Sudans. I love it. I think it is it is enough. Sorry. The days of unity are over. This is the time of economic integration. Unfortunately, we should just focus on economic integration and leave the freedom of expression as something to be discussed on the issue of Sudan, the two Sudans to be reunited again or not. Because a South Sudanese who talks about unification could easily be accused of being a traitor in South Sudan by some extremists. Only, on the other hand, a unionist in North Sudan could be described as in South Sudan as having colonialist mentality. Also, could be described in North Sudan as a dreamer. So better to leave the call for unity for now and just to focus on economic integration. But again, the question of freedom of expression that I mentioned before. Okay, the best way to keep the issue of unification alive, the best option for this goal, I mean to start with the border tribes and border communities in their towns and villages, and then to be supported in Khartoum, Juba, other cities and areas by mixed Sudanese, South Sudanese families and communities, because still they belong to the two countries, and they have the very right to defend their very existence because they belong to the unity still. But generally speaking, let us just focus on economic integration. The best recipe is to keep the call for unity alive by the people that their existence and their interest is connected with united Sudan, and at the same time they could be a good option to pressurize the two governments, not for unity but for real economic integration. Okay, to avoid the call for unity, people will go to the economic integration, which is a good compromise. But this economic integration, we should understand that it must start with the four freedoms. There is no economic integration without implementing the four freedoms agreement, which is the right to movement, employment, residence, and property ownership. Let us have example of the freedom of work or the issue of employment as example. The North Sudanese Arabic teacher can be appointed easily in South Sudan and by the government of South Sudan itself. And the South Sudanese English teacher, especially those who educated in East Africa or Western countries, they have better quality in English, can be appointed easily and by the government of Sudan itself. Also, the Sudanese and South Sudanese business people should be able to run their business safely without government harassment wherever they want in North or South. Also, the border towns and markets might be the best example for proper economic integration. In 3 years plans, the two governments can establish a united bank or a single currency, and that's all. Let the question of unification of the two Sudans be decided by next generations. Our generation can only unify the currency, or at least to bring a good level of economic integration. Here I reach the end of my analysis on the issue of unification of the two Sudans, and thank you for watching.